Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. The number one seed in the Western Conference, the Colorado Avalanche, have no margin for error any longer. They trail the Legends Cup final 3 games to none. And now they have to win 4 straight, starting here with Game 4 in Tampa. A pair of overtime wins by the Lightning, sandwiching a middle game in which the Avalanche blew a 3-1 lead, allowing 4 unanswered goals. Everything has gone right for the Lightning. The Avalanche now need to find their form and find consistency. They have led in all 3 games, but they have been unable to carry that momentum to the finish line. The climb to the biggest comeback imaginable starts now on the ice in Tampa as the Lightning look to take home the first Legends Cup. A rollicking crowd here in Tampa to see the Lightning possibly hoist the Legends Cup as the first champions in LSUHL history. We'll get right down to it. Rantanen, Forsberg, and McKinnon for Colorado. Gaudreau, Stamkos, and San Luis. And we are underway. Ryan McDonough sends it in. Tampa will try to get a forecheck going quickly. Stamkos goes in for it, has it knocked away from him. Varlamov pokes it to the side of the net for McKinnon. He breaks it out to Forsberg. Forsberg to Rantanen across the blue line. Rantanen leaves it to a surge in McKinnon. McKinnon between the circles. Shot goes wide. Lsuhl digs it out of the corner, plays it up high. McKinnon tees up again through traffic. Vasilevsky tracks it and holds on for the save. Forsberg and Stamkos on the circle. Lsuhl gets it after the draw. Forsberg wins the draw. Lsuhl tries to throw it down low. Hedman intercepts, gets it to Gaudreau to San Luis. This top line for Tampa has been exceptional. Stamkos, Gaudreau, and San Luis have been terrific. Rantanen's pass picked off. San Luis, who had a pair of goals in the Game 3 win. He gets knocked along the board. Sends it down low, and Rantanen gets it up to McKinnon. McKinnon races along the high side board, sends it down and around. Hedman retrieves it behind the net. He's pressured down. Kicks along the end board, goes to head. Tampa comes out of there, digs it out. Here's Ryan Malone. Malone through the neutral zone, takes the blue line. From the right-hand circle, he gets his stick lifted, can't get the shot off. Colorado gains possession. Let's get to Johnson to Forsberg. Forsberg across to Hayes. Hayes across the blue line, cuts inside, rips the shot, sticks save from Vasilevsky into the corner. Kaminsky digs it out. Dunna in the opposite corner, kicks it along the board. Roman Hammerlich now has Point through the neutral zone, loses it at the blue line, gains it back. Point shot turned aside by Varlamov. First shot there for Tampa. Point gets another opportunity. Varlamov makes another save. This time he holds on. 16:27 left in the first period, just underway here in Tampa, where the Lightning look to hoist the first Legends Cup. Cavalier wins the draw. Hammerlich to Boyle. Boyle down low, intercepted by Zadorov. He gets it to Tanguay. Tanguay will send it in for the forecheck for the Avalanche. Hammerlich gets there first. He's pressured. Jarred loose. We're going to have a penalty down there in the corner. And it's going to be on the Avalanche, and that has been a story in this series. Point gets his stick lifted. The Cavalier gets control, though. He'll lose it. It'll be touched up, and Gabriel Landeskog is going to the penalty box. So Landeskog gets called there. They said that was a cross check. That was more like a trip. But they're all coming out of the scrum. Andre Palat gets whistled for 16 penalties over the first 3 games. That has been a point of consternation for Bob Hartley, to say the least. Colorado wins the draw here. Recruit bangs it off the boards. It leaves the zone. Though they say it didn't leave the zone. That certainly looked like it did, but regardless, play continued. Now Tampa has it down in their own. It's kicked behind the net. Hedman to Gaudreau. Gaudreau to Stamkos. Stamkos up to San Luis. Group stands him up. Good defense by Uwe Krupp. Miller's pass stolen by Stamkos to San Luis. Shot there, deflected over the net. Gaudreau retrieves it. Plays it out to LeCavalier to San Luis. Stamkos tees up. Rebound from LeCavalier is bounced off the side outside of the post. I actually think that was Gaudreau who hit the post there. Sorry about that. Just getting to Kadri. Kadri sends it in. So Tampa rings the first post of the game. Stamkos to Palat. Palat is checked. That penalty situation, though. There's a big penalty at the end in the overtime of Game 3. After Colorado had already hit a pair of posts, Tampa took a penalty, and Colorado was going to have a chance to put Sakic, Forsberg, and McKinnon out there together on the power play unit. But it didn't take long, as Mikko Rantanen was out there as well, and Rantanen took a penalty to wipe out the power play. 2-1 series, much different than a 3-0. Here's Nathan McKinnon through the neutral zone. 10 seconds left on the Tampa power play. Rantanen gets there first. Rantanen carries, flees in front. Hedman gets a stick in the way. McKinnon looking to tee up. Hedman blocks it. We're back at even strength. Sent down behind the Colorado net. It's going to wrap all the way around. Zemensky has it. And now it's going to be a penalty on the Lightning, and Colorado will get the power play. Zadorov to Johnson to have the extra attacker out. Pass can't be handled. And it's going to be Steven Stamkos going to the box. Stamkos hits Eric Johnson there. Surprising lack of discipline there from Stamkos. Johnson wasn't really doing anything. He was also detained by Tyler Johnson. So now Colorado, who have not been great on the power play in the playoffs, 17.5%. They like starting with this secondary power play unit, which is a bit curious. But they're the number 1 seed in the West for a reason, so I guess you dance with the girl who brought you. Pass there, Lsuhl to Tanguay. Tanguay across the blue line, cross ice to Kamensky. Kamensky cuts it back nicely. Shot, bad save from Vasilevsky. Boyle has it. Boyle gets it clear, and Colorado will go back to retrieve. Here comes Kadri. Tanguay. Tanguay through traffic, now has it knocked away from him. Cirelli will flip it down the ice. Colorado will go back for it. Cirelli gets a good opportunity on the shorthand. And Varlamov has to make the save. Anthony Cirelli worms his way into an opportunity. Colorado wins the draw, and here's Forsberg, Sakic, and McKinnon. Sakic races, takes the blue line. Sakic has it poked away, goes down into the corner. McDonough gets there first. Sakic presses it, wins it. McKinnon comes out of there with a feed to Forsberg. That shot is blocked. Oh, great opportunity there for Colorado. Forsberg looked like he had part of that net open, but the shot gets blocked. Here comes Sakic. Sakic checked off the puck by Gratton. Gets it to McDonough. McDonough across the blue line. Carries in. Shot saved from Semyon Varlamov. 27 seconds left on the Colorado power play. McKinnon wins the draw. Jesus to Sakic tries to work past Cernak, but Cernak is up to it. Gets it over to Hedman to Gratton. Gratton will send it in, down and around. 10 seconds left on the Avalanche power play. Rantanen kicks it along the boards. Tampa keeps it in the zone, though, momentarily, and now Colorado wins it back. Here's Forsberg. We're back at even strength. Pumped in. Hedman gets it first, gets it over to Stamkos, fresh out of the box. Here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau leaves it for Gratton. Gratton across the blue line, checked into the near side board. Work there out at the point. Lehkonen blocks it nicely, and now here comes Lehkonen. Carries in, shot. Turned aside by Vasilevsky with the blocker. Sent back in, it rolls behind the net. Boyle retrieves it, gets it to Gaudreau, across to San Luis. And the way through the neutral zone. Both sides 0 for 1 on the power play to this point. Into Tanguay. Tanguay pass there to Lehkonen. Lehkonen across the blue line. Being tugged on. Doesn't go down. No penalty call. Lehkonen shot. Turned aside with the blocker by Vasilevsky. Kamensky in the corner. Kicks it to Miller. Miller to Krupp up high. Slapper saved by Vasilevsky. Kamensky on the doorstep looking for a wraparound. Doesn't have an opening. Plays it out high. Miller tries to throw it low. Hedman intercepts. Gets it to Gaudreau on the breakout. The point. Point at the circle. That shot is blocked in traffic. Tanguay turns it the other way. Kamensky across the blue line. Kamensky cuts inside. Shot. Hits traffic, but it's tipped in by Tanguay. Alex Tanguay, his second goal of the playoffs, and the Avalanche strike first. Shot there. It hits off of Tanguay. Oh no, it hits off the defender and ends up right on Tanguay's stick. Unfortunate there for Paul Ranger. The shot hits Ranger in the leg. Dies on the stick of Alex Tanguay, who puts it in and gives the Avalanche a 1-0 lead, 11:44 of period number 1. So Colorado has their lead for the 4th straight game in this series. First 3 haven't gone so well. Here's Tyler Johnson. Johnson has it knocked off of him. Ranger skates in. Paul Ranger shot. Bad save from Varlamov. Johnson to Landeskog. Landeskog sends it in. Bounces awkwardly out of the corner towards the net. Vasilevsky leaves on the side of the net. Ranger turns it over. Landeskog with the steal. 4-man scrum along the near side boards. Puck leaves the zone. Cirelli comes out of that mess of bodies with it, sends it in. Takes a similar deflection that the one took on Vasilevsky out of the corner, bounces near the net. Varlamov leaves it. Stamkos at the blue line had to worry about keeping things on sides. Colorado goes for a change. Kamensky comes on, steals the puck. Across the blue line, Valerie Kamensky. Shot there. Is blocked. Gets it back, though. Shots turned aside by Vasilevsky, and another save from Vasilevsky. Colorado trying to get this game rolling downhill a little bit. Hedman. Pass the point. Point across the blue line. Zadorov gets him off of it. Puck is knocked away. Jones retreats. Jones to Lehkonen. And then back to Jones. Krupp up near the blue line. They say Kadri was a step across the blue line to receive that one, and offsides is the call. Lehkonen, Kadri, and Jones pull out the Cavalier and Point, your forward line. Done at a point. Point gets hammered along the near side boards. Puck leaves the zone. Palat goes to cross it, and then offsides call is made. 4:43 left here in period number 1, game 4 of the Legends Cup final. Lightning with a 3-0 series lead. Avalanche lead tonight 1-0 as they try to stay alive. Hedman gets it out of the zone. Miller intercepts though, but now loses it. Up the boards. Racing forward is LeCavalier behind the net. LeCavalier looking for a feed in front. Gets it out to Palat. Doesn't get it clean off the stick. That shot goes wide. Now back down to the Tampa, and McDonough gets clipped there as puck gets knocked off of him and his stick. Now it's McKinnon. Puck rolls in on Vasilevsky, who covers it up. Callahan gets the draw. It's to Hammerlick. Hammerlick turns it over to Sakic. Pass there. Shot by Kamensky. Turned aside. Big turnover there, but Colorado can't make them pay for it. Sakic shot. High and wide. Hayjuk gets it. Feed into the middle. Can't be handled. Boyle gets it to Malone. Malone across ice to Callahan across the blue line. Callahan back to Malone. Malone from the left circle. Shot. Steered aside by Varlamov. Lyles gets it, banks it off the boards. Breakout pass to Kamensky. Through the neutral zone, takes the blue line. Kamensky cuts inside. His pass just out of reach for Sakic. Colorado keeps it in the zone, though. Johnson has it poked away from him. Malone now gets separated from it by Lsuhl. To Sakic. Sakic again has it knocked off his stick, but Colorado regains control quickly. Inside 2 minutes remaining here in the opening frame in Tampa. Shipped down. Johnson behind the net. Stamkos pins him to the board. Lsuhl to Kadri. Kadri to Rantanen. Weaves his way through. Has it knocked off his stick. Boyle retrieves it. Pinned along the wall. Hedman pins Lsuhl. Stamkos goes in there for help. Kadri goes in for Colorado. Kept in the zone by Jones, but he duffs the, I don't know if that was a pass or a shot. But regardless, Tampa has it. Palat tries to feed it down low. Johnson intercepts. Landeskog through the neutral zone, getting tied up from behind. Landeskog wants a call there. He's not getting it. He does get the puck, though. Skates in, pad, save Vasilevsky in the waning moments here of the opening period of Game 4. Jones to Rantanen, shot as time expires. Blocker save from Vasilevsky, and that's how the first period ends. Andrei Vasilevsky has made several very difficult saves through the first 20 minutes. He couldn't stop all of them, though. 1-0. Avalanche. Alex Tanguay gives them the lead into the first intermission. Colorado outshooting Tampa 12-6 in the first period. Passing is way off. Look at that. Both teams under 75%. Again, that is a figure. NHL doesn't really tout that figure. It's kind of like an NHL game only stat. But generally speaking, that figure is in the 80s. Above 85 is very good. Above 90 is exceptional. That's a rarity. But below 80 is kind of off the game. So you can just kind of tell there's not been a ton of flow as of yet in this one. Both teams down at 74 and change in that department. Both teams at 6 faceoffs, 1 penalty to each side. Both teams killing off the power play successfully. Haven't seen the hits really load up, although there's a big one. Great point got flat along the high side boards there. Only 4 hits for Colorado, 3 for Tampa. We'll take a look at the only goal of the period. It comes off the stick of Alex Tanguay. Here's the carry. Kamensky rushes through the neutral zone, takes the blue line. Cuts, nice little nifty move there inside. Beats Boyle, and now he's going to take the shot opportunity here. The shot, Tanguay holds up for the shot because he worried it was going to hit him. It does not hit him, but it does hit Paul Ranger. It's Paul Ranger right in the shin there. Look at that. That drops right onto the stick of Tanguay. And Tanguay just flicks it as soon as he gets control and puts it past Vasilevsky for the 1-0 lead. That is our only tally of the first period. We will take a beverage and wet the whistle, which should be a fun second period. Middle 20 coming at you from Tampa. Anthony Forsberg and McKinnon, Gaudreau, Stamkos, and San Luis. Tampa has it. San Luis across the blue line. Tries to get a shot off. That shot is blocked. And into Lsuhl. Lsuhl, his pass is missed. Tampa picks it off in the neutral zone. Sent down and around. Gaudreau for San Luis. Tries to get it back to Gaudreau. It's intercepted. Ends up loose puck go towards the front of the net. And it's Stamkos bearing down. Varlamov lays on top of it to bring the play to a halt. A little bit of careless play in their own end there by Colorado. Forsberg wins the draw. Rantanen's pass picked off. Stamkos gets a shot, score! Oh, we got to see this. They're crediting it to Stamkos, which would be his 15th. It looked like it was partially stopped. You also heard it click the post. That might be an own goal. No, it just kind of trickled through. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Trying to get it clear. So the defender hits it off the post. Gaudreau tries to tip it in and misses. But it hits off the back of Varlamov's skate and in, and we are deadlocked at 1. Stamkos, the last guy to touch the puck, gets credit for the goal. And I'll tell you this, there is just something smiling down on the Lightning here. We are deadlocked at 1. The Avalanche, once again, have a lead and lose it. That has been the story of this series. San Luis to Stamkos. Stamkos gets hit hard. Eriksson to Rantanen to McKinnon. McKinnon races across the blue line. Tries to get to the net. Hedman steals it. Gets it to McDonough. McKinnon leaves it for Lsuhl. Lsuhl across to Johnson. Johnson knocked off the puck. Here comes Cirelli through the neutral zone. Cirelli takes the blue line. Lsuhl has the inside track on him. Cirelli fires. Save. Goes up and around the net. Malone gets it. His pass out to the point. Intercepted by Nichushkin. Rantanen sends it in. Pass, centering pass can't be handled. Little bit behind him. Cirelli gets it along the near side boards. Kicks it up the side boards. Johnson to Landeskog. Shot. Block. Lots of traffic in front of the Tampa net. Here comes Pratt. Carries. Now cuts it in front. Varlamov pokes it away with the stick. Nicely done by Varlamov, but Tampa keeps control, at least for the moment. Erik Johnson gets it. Gratton wins it back. Penalty coming. Power play for the Lightning, and Johnson is going to the box. So Erik Johnson, goes high. That's to the chest of the Cavalier. There's no way they're not going to call that one. Second penalty of the game against Colorado. And it's a power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Johnson, Point, and Palat, the line for Tampa. Colorado wins the draw. He's down low. Johnson gets crushed. Oh boy, Johnson lost his helmet. He got hammered. Puck leaves the zone. I think that may have been Johnson getting off the ice there. Driving to the net is Point. Shot. Saved by Varlamov. Hustle. Goose goes behind the net. Gaudreau has it. Point digs it out. Nichushkin with the steal. Banks it off the board. That's going to go the length of the ice. 1:15 left on the Tampa power play. Pass can't be handled. Nichushkin across the blue line. Leaves it for Miller. Miller, shot, save. Vasilevsky holds on. Look at this. Ooh. He almost turned away from long enough. That's Nikita Zadorov. With the hit, Zadorov has been a menace. Tyler Johnson exited the ice, but did not see him go back to the locker room. No. I think Johnson's just going to have to regroup his thoughts a little bit. San Luis gets his pocket picked by Miller. He flips it down. Tampa will go back and retreat. Cavalier's pass can't be handled. Forsberg fires, steered aside by Vasilevsky. Stamkos gets it to the Cavalier. Cross ice pass to Gaudreau. Gaudreau has his pocket picked by Zadorov. Gets some help from Lehkonen, who sends it down. They come up on 30 seconds left in the Tampa power play. Cavalier flips that one up the ice. Trying to set somebody free. That's Kaloran pressuring. Miller gets back there first, though. Zadorov to Miller. Dangerous pass there. But no harm, no foul. Here's Lehkonen across the blue line. Lehkonen gets a shot. Save from Vasilevsky. Edmund with the stretch pass to Callahan. 5 seconds left in the power play. Braden Point fires in front of the net. Varlamov gets the deflection and covers it up. Not sure an actual shot took place. And Varlamov and Vasilevsky have both been very, very strong in the playoffs. Hammerlick to Malone. Malone fires. Pad save. Nicely done by Varlamov. Landeskog through the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass picked off by Callahan. Callahan gets separated from it by Nichushkin, who gets it to Landeskog. Now Malone scoops up the loose puck. Sets Callahan across the blue line to Gratton. Gratton pulls the trigger. Varlamov gobbles it up. That hits him in the gut. And he holds on. 12:48 left here in a tied second period, game 4 of the Year 1 Legends Cup Final. That's a beauty there by Varlamov on Malone. That last Mensky, Sakic, and Hayju for Colorado. Malone, Gratton, and Callahan for Tampa. Cernak feeds it down low, trickles all the way through. I actually think that got to Varlamov and was steered aside. Cernak cross ice to Ranger. Ranger across the blue line. He gets taken into the boards hard. Group Kaminsky. Kaminsky cross ice. That was Sakic there. Got spun around a little bit. Couldn't handle the pass. Back at even strength. Hayju Kaminsky. Kaminsky shot. Vasilevsky snares it with the glove and holds on. To the point. Lsuhl to Rantanen. Grant Forsberg. Forsberg on the doorstep. Score! Peter Forsberg fights through traffic and picks up his 11th goal of the playoffs, and the Avalanche reclaim the lead. First shot doesn't go. Second attempt from Forsberg, with Cernak all over him. And Hammerlick trying to get to him. Forsberg puts it in for the score. 2-1 Colorado. Just kept poking away at it. The puck was sitting just outside the skate under the pad of Vasilevsky, but certainly didn't have control of it. So now this has been a rarity, because when Colorado has blown a lead, they've rarely been able to gain it back. At least over the last 2 games. Happened a couple times in game 1 with the alternated. Lsuhl with the big check there, steals it. Sanders Lsuhl thumps in and around. Boyle pressured by McKinnon. Forsberg comes in to help. Forsberg kicks it to Lsuhl, to McKinnon. We're going to have a power play for the Avalanche, and Cirelli is going to the box. That's going to be an obstruction call on Cirelli, who keeps Forsberg tied up along the wall. A little shot at him afterwards as well. So Cirelli goes to the box, 9:30 into the second period. Second power play opportunity for the Avalanche. They failed, whatever you want to call it, on their first. Gaudreau wins the draw. Rantanen shot is blocked. Gets launched all the way down the ice. Varlamov has it. He'll leave it alongside the net. And a misplay there. I don't know why the guy... If he thought that Varlamov was leaving it behind the net, Varlamov left it on the side of the net. Couldn't took the long route to get there, and Tampa got there first. Almost a huge blunder there by the Avalanche. Tanguay, who has the goal. Shot, saved by Vasilevsky. Killorn banks it off the boards, goes all the way down the ice. Rantanen goes back for it. First man there, 1:10 left on the power play. Gets it up to Tanguay. Tanguay with the stretch to Kaminsky. Kaminsky across the blue line, loses it. Killorn gets it. He gets knocked into the boards. Kaminsky sends it down and around. Going into the corner, McKinnon. McKinnon to Forsberg. Redirect. Vasilevsky stays with it. McKinnon gets the rebound. Forsberg to Lsuhl. Shot. Another save from Vasilevsky. Kick save that time. Cernak gets it clear, and Colorado will have to go back. San Luis wins the foot race to the puck. Pass out to the point. Pocket picked by Lehkonen. Tampa wins it back. 27 seconds left on the Colorado power play. Lehkonen across the blue line. Carries in. Feed in the middle for Forsberg. Shot. Deflected wide. Dunne gets it clear. Hager gets it in neutral ice. Has to wait for the Avalanche to clear the zone. Tries to send it back in. Stamkos intercepts. Steven Stamkos from the right circle. Stamkos shot. Varlamov with the save. 3 seconds left on the Colorado power play, and they will have a face-off at their own end. Andrei Vasilevsky trails this game 2-1, but he has been outstanding so far. 8 saves here in the second, several of them of the high danger variety. Minsky, Kadri, and Tanguay out there for Colorado. Kadri wins the draw, goes behind the net. We're back at even strength. Landeskog, Kadri to Tanguay. Tanguay pulls it back, now flicks it in. Trying to get the forecheck going. Boyle gets there first. Tampa breaks out. Cavalier to Cirelli through the neutral zone. Takes the blue line. From the left circle, Cirelli pulls it back. Takes a shot. Bad save from Varlamov. Into the corner. Landeskog's pass picked off by Callahan. Callahan's pass. Ranger to the Cavalier. The Cavalier gets taken down. No call there. Cavalier wins it back to Cirelli. Cirelli, cross ice, picked off by Kadri. Boyle with the interception there. Callahan to the Cavalier. The Cavalier leaves it for Boyle. Boyle tees up through the traffic. Callahan gets it on the doorstep. Shot, save Varlamov. Cernak gets an opportunity and another save from Varlamov. So both goalies being tested here in the middle frame. .40 remaining. Point to Palat. Palat gets his pocket picked by Krupp. Zadorov digs it out. Takedown behind the net, no call. That looked perilously close to a cross-check on Zadorov. Whistle stays in the pocket. Cavalier up the near side. Pulls it back. Feed in the middle. Shot. Kick save. I think that might have clipped the post. Zadorov in the corner. Krupp. To Jesus. Shot. Save Vasilevsky, who holds on. Lehkonen, Kadri, and Jones. Gaudreau, Stamkos, and San Luis. 5:13 left in the second. Lyles throws it towards the net on the redirect. Vasilevsky with the stop. Can't get control, though, but Tampa gets control of the puck. Stamkos to San Luis. Poked away. Gaudreau is there. He loses it to Lehkonen. Lehkonen to Lyles. Jones to Miller. Boyle's pass to Gaudreau. We'll have an offsides call. Anthony Forsberg, McKinnon, Gaudreau, Stamkos, and San Luis. Anthony sends it down and around. McKinnon tries to go short side. Vasilevsky seals it off. Colorado trying to keep pressure. Trying to keep a lead. Out to the point, Miller. Forsberg. Forsberg to Miller. Miller to Lyles. Lyles gets it down to Rankin. Forsberg. Lyles ends up leaving the zone. Colorado will have to regroup. Lyles is pressed. Stamkos wins the puck. Sends it in behind the Colorado net. Gaudreau races for it. He gets there first. Up the boards to San Luis. San Luis to an on-rushing Hedman, but Hedman is stood up. Here comes Rantanen. Rantanen chips it in. Inside 3 minutes remaining in the second period. McKinnon. Out to Johnson. Pass down low, intercepted by Point. Point sets up Palat through the neutral zone. Palat takes the blue line across to Cirelli. Cirelli loses it to Lsuhl. Cirelli tries to win it back. Puck rolls in there on Varlamov, who covers it up and puts a stop to any of the shenanigans in front of the net. And it's Cog to Lsuhl. Oh, nice block there by Hedman on the dump in, but then he loses control. That was almost a breakaway going the other way. Justin cuts inside, has it poked away. Callahan gobbles it up. To Gratton, to Hedman. Cross near side to Malone. Malone looks in front of the net. Picked off by Nichushkin. Here comes Lsuhl. Colorado doing a solid job taking away passing lanes at the moment. Callahan drives to the net. On the doorstep, save from Varlamov. Colorado gets it out. Landeskog sends it in. Final minute of play here in period number 2. Callahan to Point. Point races in. Nice move, Braden Point. Shot save from Varlamov, who holds on. Nice move by Braden Point. But Varlamov stays with it. You see the hit totals are down. Colorado is driving that. Really trying to make a concerted effort to stay out of the box. Varlamov will freeze that one after the pass can't be handled. No chances. 7.8 remaining here in the second period. Cirelli wins the draw. Ranger can't get the shot off. Zadorov intercepts. Carries up the near side. Feeds to Jones, who won't have time to pull the trigger. And the second period comes to a close. So Tampa, as they have done so frequently in the series, erase a Colorado lead. But Colorado gains another. Peter Forsberg puts them up 2-1. Through 2, 24-21 shots advantage for the Avalanche, a 9-6 hits advantage. 19-11 on the faceoff circle. Both sides 0 for 2 on the power play. And you can still see both sides passing under 80% in this one. Starts off with Steven Stamkos, his 15th goal of the postseason. Stamkos hadn't lit the lamp yet in this series, actually, but he's played very well. He's been in the midst of everything. So here's the opportunity. Stamkos with the steal. Shot from the top of the right circle. And it hits off Varlamov, and I guess when he goes to grab it with his glove, he kind of knocks it behind him. That's Lsuhl. So now Lsuhl, trying to keep the puck from going in the net, tries to sweep it away, and it hits the post. Gaudreau is there, but Gaudreau misses as he tries to tip it in. So that would seem to be crisis averted. Only problem, Varlamov, sliding over to try to seal off Gaudreau, ends up hitting the puck into his own net behind him. He had no idea where the puck was, obviously. Hard to blame Varlamov from that. More just an unfortunate situation. And the Lightning would take a tie the game at 1. But then, Peter Forsberg, and this is just a grunt work, hard work goal. Rumor has it Forsberg, quote unquote, in real life, scored plenty of these. Shot here between the circles, Vasilevsky with the save. On the other side of the glass. There we go. Puck is sitting, and Vasilevsky tries to cover it, doesn't quite have it. It's still there under his pad, and it squirts just loose enough for Forsberg. Forsberg got the heel of his stick on that. And that's enough to get it past Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky actually got a piece of that with his own skate, too. But Forsberg getting it with the heel of his stick sends it towards the net and gives the Avalanche the 2-1 lead. Game of inches. In a game of desperation for the Avalanche as they try to keep this series alive. We head to the final 20. Can the Avalanche carry one through to the finish line finally and try to thrust themselves back into this series. Game 4 continues now. Forsberg and Stamkos at center ice. Away we go for the final 20. Forsberg wins it to Lsuhl. Pass can't be handled. Hedman gets it to St. Louis. St. Louis to Stamkos. Back to St. Louis. Feed down low to Stamkos. Tries for a tip-in attempt. Varlamov with the pad save. Rantanen sends it down and around. Hedman gets there first. Forsberg pressuring. Gets it to St. Louis. St. Louis to Stamkos along the near side. Across the blue line. Stamkos taking hard into the board. Sends it down and around. Rantanen gets it out the other side to McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon racing through neutral ice. He'll send it down. Colorado will go for the forecheck. Battle along the near side boards. Rantanen keeps it in the zone. Mikko Rantanen carries to the net. Turned aside by Vasilevsky with the pad save. McKinnon gets it. Stamkos wins it from him. Colorado wins it back. Rantanen feed in the middle. Shot. Save by Vasilevsky, who holds on. That was Forsberg with the one-timer. And Andrei Vasilevsky has made a host of highlight reel saves in this one. There's that last one from Forsberg. Nice job by Vasilevsky to smother that one, not let a rebound score that. Shots 26-22 in favor of the Avalanche. Group to Hajuk. Hajuk throws it towards the net. Tied up, got nothing on that. Vasilevsky freezing. Minsky, Sakic, and Hajuk. Palat, Cavalier, and point. Cavalier wins the draw. Hammerlick to point. Point along the high side board. Tries to the net, centering pass a little bit behind Le Cavalier. Tampa keeps it in the zone though. Hammerlick has it knocked loose. Krupp point picked off by Point. Hammerlick tees it up. Slap shot goes wide. Still possession for the Lightning though. Boyle throws it towards the net. Redirect. Varlamov stays with it and makes the save. Kaminsky loses it to Palat on the doorstep. Varlamov denies him as well. The Semyon Varlamov doing his own heroics in the Colorado net. Hajuk wins it off the Cavalier. Here's Kaminsky across the blue line. To Boyle. Boyle to Palat. Made it sound like Kaminsky passed it to Boyle. Palat turns it aside. Cavalier pressured down in the corner. Nichushkin wins it. Kicked along the end board. Sakic pressured behind the net. Kicks it to Krupp. Tried to feed in front though. Tampa got control. Tried to feed it in front. Nobody there. Here comes Kadri. Kadri across the blue line. To Sakic. To Nichushkin. Shot. Save. Rebound. Turned aside. Nichushkin has it behind the net. Kadri goes to help. Laid out wide. Now fed down low. Sakic gets taken down. No call. Boyle takes Sakic down. That sure looked like a trip. And you can hear the barking from the Colorado bench. A Bob Hartley who is already irritated by the officiating in this series. And careful not to overly rip the officials. Here's Kaminsky. Whips his way past Boyle. Barkley blocked though anyway. But Kaminsky putting on the move. Tange, Landeskog, and Nichushkin. Malone, Grattan, and Callahan. Lyle to Nichushkin, cross ice. Back to Lyle, to Miller. Miller tries to get a set up there. It's poked away. Miller cross ice. Nichushkin across the blue line. Gets ridden into the board. Puck is stolen. Here comes Tampa. Grattan to Callahan. Callahan comes right down the middle. Miller takes it away from him. Tries to get it clear. It's blocked. The Landeskog scoops up the loose chain. Sends it down and around. Coming out the other side, Paul Ranger. Ranger to Malone. Malone sends it up to Grattan. Grattan to Callahan. Callahan races in. Ryan Callahan turned aside of Varlamov with the pad, saving a beauty. Gratton keeps it in the zone. No Killorn. Shot through traffic. Loose in front of the net. Bunch of bodies. Colorado gets it clear. Cross-ice pass from Tangay misses the mark. Miller across the blue line loses control, wins it back. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the third period here in Game 4. Stamkos to Hammerlick. Hammerlick to Stamkos. I'm sorry, it's 81, not 90. Cernak across the blue line. Here's Landeskog. Landeskog tries to send it in. Cernak blocks it. Hammerlick gets there. Landeskog takes Hammerlick down, wins it back, but Hammerlick gets back to his feet and intercepts a pass. Roman Hammerlick across the blue line. Being in front, one-timer is blocked. Ends up going to Krug. Tampa comes the other way. I believe that was the Stamkos slapper. Sent down and around behind the Tampa net. Killorn to Cernak. There's Stamkos. Stamkos sends it in. Zadorov checked along the near side board. Stamkos wins it. Gets it over to Hammerlick. Hammerlick pulls the trigger. Shot. Save Varlamov. Colorado trying to get it out of the danger zone, and they do again. And there's going to be a penalty here. Delayed penalty. Colorado trying to get the extra attacker out. Stamkos does a good job of tying him up. But Chris Gratton will go to the box. Oh, that's a retaliation shot. So, 16, I'm blanking on who that is. Took a jab there at Stamkos. And then Gratton hits him from behind, and Gratton's the one who gets whistled. Sakic, McKinnon, and Forsberg out for Colorado. They'll get a power play here to try to get a 2-goal lead in the third. Ranton into Hayjuk. Hayjuk shot from the top of the right circle. Vasilevsky with the save, holds on. This is a big power play here for Colorado. 2-goal lead in the third period. Give them a little bit of faith they can carry this through. Hayjuk to Forsberg. Forsberg feet in front. Sakic shot. Save from Vasilevsky. McKinnon out to the point. Sakic loses it. Shot stolen by Hayjuk. Shot saved by Vasilevsky. Cernak has it. Fights through a check. Gets it to Andre Palat. Palat leaves it laying for Hedman. Hedman gets hammered along the board. A little bit of a tussle there. No call. No fight. No nothing. Play continues. Hayjuk across the blue line. Hayjuk races past Hedman. Ranton in front. Shot saved from Vasilevsky. Forsberg with the rebound. Plays it out to Hayjuk. Hayjuk across. Rantanen down low to Sakic. Sakic for McKinnon. McKinnon tries to feed it in front. Perhaps one pass too many there from Colorado. Tampa comes out of there with it. Colorado comes out of there without a shot. Offsides the call. Both sides will catch their breath a little bit. Great opportunity there for Sakic, but Vasilevsky denies him. Sakic has started to awaken a bit, though. He's much more in the middle of things. Again, Sakic had a terrific first 2 rounds. But he was not much of a factor in that series against the Wild, particularly the second half of that series. He has not really done anything in this series either. Secondary assist on a McKinnon goal in Game 1 was it. We played a very good overtime frame in Game 3. He has looked much more like the guy who scored 37 goals to lead the team during the regular season here in Game 4 as well. 38 picks left on the Colorado power play. 8:52 left in the third. 2-1 Avalanche trying to force a Game 5. Ranton into Sakic. Sakic loses control. That's Rantanen. Rantanen's shot is partially blocked. Sakic. Sakic to McKinnon. Shot. I believe that was blocked. I don't think that ever got to Vasilevsky. Battle along the near side boards. The Cavalier comes out of there with it. Sends it down and around. Forsberg retrieves it. 6 seconds left on the Colorado power play. McKinnon to Rantanen. Cross ice. Dumped in. McKinnon trying to get there. Boyle gets the angle on him. We're back at even strength. successful kill from the league's best penalty kill during the regular season, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Get a one-timer. Andrew, that gets through traffic. Vasilevsky stays with it. Not sure if anybody redirected that or not. Coming up on 7.5 minutes remaining. Andrew to Sakic. To McKinnon. McKinnon sends it down and around. McKinnon there to Ranger. Ranger to Palat. Lsuhl. Commence. Point. Here's Boyle. Boyle to Palat. Palat tied up, long distance shot. Varlamov turns it aside. See the Sakic. Goes all the way around. Kamensky feed in front. One-timer saved by Vasilevsky. Colorado keeps it in the zone, though, but LeCavalier with the steal. Inside 6 minutes remaining. Johnny Gaudreau tries to get past Lsuhl. Lsuhl wins it from it. Lsuhl to Kamensky. Kamensky carries deep. Throws it towards the net. Vasilevsky covers. Not sure that was supposed to be a shot or a pass. Not a whole heck of a lot on that from Valerie Kamensky. Krupp has had a very good playoff. Overall. Not just this series. Krupp has done a nice, good, solid defender. I very much enjoyed Krupp as a defender back with the Islanders. Way back when. Tyler Johnson. Johnson, who was taken down by Zadorov earlier on in the game with a big hit. So good to see Johnson back on the ice. Kadri sends it down behind. McDonough. McDonough being pressured. Hedman working Kadri along the board. 4.5 minutes remaining. Colorado wins it. Zadorov tees off. Shot there. Goes wide. Krupp got taken down. Again, no call. Turnover, Cirelli, but Krupp wins it back. Here's Kadri. Krupp feed, Landeskog, shot, save. Krupp feed, and there's going to be a penalty, and it's going to be on Pratt, and it's going to be another power play for the Avalanche. John Cooper wants an explanation. Bob Hartley's got to be thinking, sit down. You've had a huge penalty advantage all series. Krupp behind the net. Kind of got the stick high on him. It didn't really necessarily look like a cross-check, but you get that stick up high on somebody, you run the risk of any kind of a call. Pratt will go to the box. Colorado 0 for 3 so far on the power play. Kamensky, Kadri, and Tanguay will get their first opportunity at it. Tanguay has one of the 2 Colorado goals. Palat through the neutral zone. Kadri wins it. Kadri across the blue line. Cuts it back. Kadri drives to the net. Has it poked away from him. And here comes Stamkos. Stamkos across the blue line through the neutral zone. Sends it down and around. 1:35 left on the Colorado power play. About a minute 20. Difference between the power play and the game clock. Tanguay, center. Kadri, shot. Turned aside by Vasilevsky. Kamensky digs it out of the corner. Lsuhl has his pocket picked by Palat. Palat turns it over on the pass to Kamensky. To Tanguay. Tanguay has it poked away. Nice job by Hammerlick. Landeskog gobbles it up. Kamensky, nice little give and go to Landeskog, but Hammerlick gets involved again and disrupts it. Stamkos gets stood up by Lsuhl, who dumps it down into the Tampa end. Vasilevsky plays it, gets it going the other way quick. McDonough to Hammerlick. Hammerlick chips it neutral ice, keeps control, gets it to McDonough. Shoveled down behind the net. LeCavalier goes. Tries to play it out to the point where Sakic intercepts. Joe Sakic gets tied up, fights his way through. Long shot there, stick save. Forsberg on the doorstep. Vasilevsky makes the save, couldn't find it. McDonough clears it out. 25 seconds remaining on the Colorado power play. 1:40 remaining in the game. Sakic through the neutral zone, across the blue line. Sakic tees up, deflected, goes all the way over the glass. Happy fan up there in row 20. We will have a face-off to the left of Vasilevsky. 13 seconds on the power play, 1:35 on the game clock. Rantanen and Sakic. Back to Rantanen. Shot partially blocked. That one exits play, and we'll have another faceoff. Both sides passing has still stayed below 80%. They both crept up. That's 74% from both of them in period one. That is a no-flow hockey game. What that is. Power play is killed off successfully by the Lightning. But now Colorado's got to try to hold on here for a minute 10. Back at even strength. Here's Pratt. Out of the box across the blue line. Pratt into Cirelli. Cirelli shot through traffic. Save. Varlamov holds on. Cirelli dabbed at him with the stick a little bit at the end there. After the play was whistled dead. Stamkos and Forsberg on the dot. Forsberg wins it. Forsberg to McKinnon. McKinnon across the blue line. Nathan McKinnon leaves it for Forsberg. Forsberg shot turned aside. San Luis gets it out of the corner. Gets it to Cernak. Cernak's pass to Gaudreau. McKinnon checks Gaudreau off the puck. To Tanguay. Tanguay shot deflected through traffic. Vasilevsky stays with it for the pad save. Ranger with the breakout pass to San Luis. 30 seconds left in the third. Vasilevsky is out of the net. San Luis with the shot. Save from Varlamov. Sandis Ozolin gets it behind the Colorado net. His pass can't be handled, though. Cernak gets it back. Cross ice to point. Extra attacker on for Tampa. San Luis cross ice pass. Picked off by Tanguay, who turns it over. Point to San Luis. Gets the opportunity in the slot. But Varlamov with the glove save. 11 seconds left. Oh, Marty San Luis with an opportunity to knock this one late. And now a huge face-off. 10 seconds left in the Colorado zone. Hammerlick, slapper, wide. Hedman on the doorstep. Varlamov with the save. Covers it. 5.9 remaining. Victor Hedman with an opportunity. Malone, Grant, and Callahan. Tanguay, Landeskog, Nichushkin. 5.9 on the clock. Colorado wins the draw. Uwe Krupp turns it over. Gratton tries to get a shot off. Varlamov with the save, and the Avalanche avoid the sweep and will get the series back to Denver for a Game 5. So now we will see if the Avalanche can build some sense of momentum. They finally close one out. They lost another lead in the process. Again, Colorado has led all 4 games in this series. It didn't matter when they dropped the first 3. But this time, after Tampa's tying goal, Peter Forsberg gave them the 2-1 lead in the second, and they hold on to it for the final 20. 2-1 Avalanche, 3-1 series for Tampa, and we'll have a Game 5. Forsberg with the goal gets third star honors. That is just a front work Peter Forsberg goal on the doorstep right there. First shot was denied. Keep poking through the traffic. Varlamov, 31 saves. Very strong night from Semyon Varlamov. He gets the second star honors. And Andrei Vasilevsky in the loss, 39 saves. Earns first star honors. 41-32 shots advantage for Colorado, a 19-14 hits advantage, a 30-15 advantage. On the circle, Colorado takes only 2 penalties in this one. They took 7 in both the first and third games of this series. Again, the penalty discrepancy is something that has very clearly, though he's been measured with his words, has very clearly bothered Coach Bob Hartley. So the Avalanche will get the series home, and that's all you can do. You're down 3-0 in a series. And all you can just do is take one game at a time. And the Avalanche do that here. No goals to show you in the third period. As far as the highlight reel goes. So rather than we'll take a quick look at the stat lines. At Forsberg, 8 shots on the night. He was the leading shot guy. Sakic only had 2. That actually surprised me. McKinnon only had 3. It felt like Sakic was more involved in it. Actually, but Forsberg certainly led the way out. Hangay with the goal. That was only his second on the playoff. Valerie Kamensky had a good night as well, getting 6 shots off. For the Lightning, Stamkos finally finds the back of the net in the series. Despite having only 2 shots, remember, Stamkos had 11 shots in Game 1 and 10 shots in Game 3, but didn't have a goal to show for it. You know, he gets his first tally here. That's a little bit of a makeup goal, in a way. But, I mean, Cirelli led them in shots with 6. You can see Gaudreau didn't have a shot on the night. Oh, wow. That's not going to happen all the time. Marty St. Louis had 4. Yeah, if they hold Gaudreau without a shot, that's a good way to get yourself to a victory. But that'll wrap things up here, so we will have a Game 5. Colorado takes Game 4 2-1. Tampa still leads the series 3-1. They are still in the driver's seat. Nobody expected a Tampa sweep in this series, obviously, given that Colorado is the favorite. I don't think you really blink much if you're Tampa dropping 1 game. If Colorado can win Game 2, now all of a sudden you start planting that seed of doubt with the Lightning. But for now, it just means everybody has to pack their bags and head to Denver. We're going to pack up here too. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. As always, be sure to check out the Substack. I'll have a post-game write-up, post-game quotes, analysis, etc. on the Substack. Please check that out. I'll drop that link into the description here of the video. Bang that like button if you haven't as of yet. Subscribe if you haven't as of yet. And most importantly, be good to each other. And we'll talk soon. The Avalanche stay alive in the Legends Cup final with a 2-1 win in Tampa.